What animal do you think it was?
It sounds like a blue whale.
I mean, what kind of boy doesn't know his blue whale from his humpback?
Oh, a humpback. Oh.
Right, now, today's show, all about animals, but Maggie, you work on the sky at night, you're a scientist, you're always looking up into space. What animal can you see here, if I show you this picture? There are people in the world, mostly Japan, China, other Far East countries. Rabbit? It is. It's a rabbit. I can't see it myself. Are you seeing the rabbit?
I feel like it's when somebody shows you their baby scan.
Yes.
So like, oh, gorgeous, wow, it looks just like you. It's like, just looks like that.
Yeah.
No, I can't see anything.
Sometimes even when the baby's been born, you think, no, I'm still
Just
not...
what's that?
It looks like a turnip. I don't see it, but we can superimpose
Oh, please
the thing
superimpose.
on the top of it, and then... see, I mean...
What?
Even that doesn't look like a rabbit.
It looks like a sorrowful rabbit. It looks like the rabbit's going, oh, I'm on the moon. No
It's
friends.
like a map of the UK in a high wind.
It looks like a rabbit trying to do a magic trick where it pulls a smaller rabbit out of a hat.
Yes, apparently it's meant to be a mortar and pestle, and it's grinding, I don't know, herbs for the gods. In some stories, the rabbit is a companion of the goddess of the moon, who's called Chang'e, the Chinese goddess of the moon. She floated up to the moon after drinking too much elixir of immortality.
People who peddle these things, you think they ever run out of steam. She floated up to them, but oh, doesn't matter.
Yeah. She was married to a celebrated archer who was called Hu Yi, and it's too hot. There were 10 suns in the sky, and he shot 9 of them out of the sky, so we only had 1 left. And the goddess in charge was so thrilled with this that she gave him the elixir of immortality, but only enough for 1. So he thought, I'm not leaving my wife, that's not nice. So he put it under the bed. She drank it. Yeah. You know, it's not a happy marriage story, is it? Really.
They couldn't split it.
Well, anyway, she floated off to the moon because she was so cross with him.
What do they think the moon is? I mean, does she think you get up there and it's like sort of a Four Seasons hotel or something?
Well, it's a really good question. What do you think the moon is? Because the Samoan people believe that there was a girl called Sina, she was a beautiful girl who thought that the moon was made of breadfruit, and there was a terrible famine, and so she asked the moon to come and feed her. The moon was annoyed, so it kidnapped Sina into the sky, and so she lives.
It's crowded up there, isn't it? Everybody living up there.
So she thought the moon was breadfruit.
Yes, she did.
So she asked the breadfruit to come to her so she could eat the breadfruit, and then the breadfruit kidnapped her because it was annoyed. Hey, breadfruit, yeah.
Yeah.
Come down, yeah.
Yeah, you're coming with me.
It's not a good story.
When I hear about planets with more than one moon, I'm quite angry. Like Jupiter's got several moons.
Well, 1 over 60, and we've had
over
more.
60?
Oh yeah. The outer planets tend to sort of be they're bigger and they sort of more gravity and stuff like that. But see, our moon is the best moon.
Why?
Well, compared with Earth, our moon is very big, and so it helps protect us. So asteroids, meteorites, things like that. The moon will take some of those. You can see it on the craters. So the moon takes some of the knocks for us.
Like a bouncer.
That's it. You're away. You're
If the Earth and the moon perhaps were formed at a similar time, and the Earth is in the Goldilocks zone with the water and the environment and the atmosphere, and so it is the moon, but the moon
a really harsh environment, but the moon's so much smaller. If you took the surface area of the moon, it's about slightly smaller than the surface area of Asia, so it's quite small in comparison. And also, being small, it's got lots less gravity, and so yeah, if it didn't ever have an atmosphere, it's long gone.
So it's the size and the lack of gravity that stops it forming an atmosphere.
Yeah. Also, as a result, it means the sun's rays blast it really hard. And so, for instance, the temperature on the moon goes from minus 150 to plus 150.
So why had a boiler like that?
Can't get it right. There's nothing in the middle.
So tell me something, while we're delving into your knowledge here. If there was an actual rabbit on the moon, would we have been able to detect it in theory if we had had the Planck spacecraft? Am I right that they were able to detect variations in temperature to like a millionth of a degree?
Yes.
So you could, through temperature, have picked up a rabbit on the moon?
Yes, but assuming a rabbit could survive on the moon and maintain its temperature, then it could have picked up rabbits.
Generally on this show we know nothing, so it's a very exciting move into actual facts.
At the moment, this feels like the morning of a science exam, and it's the only child who's done it.
There may be some actual rabbits living on the moon. That is a possibility. So in 2019, the Israeli spacecraft crash landed on the moon. The payload contained tardigrades. Do you know about tardigrades?
bring them back to Earth and see if they sort of come.
Isn't there micro animals? Do you think they're extraordinary? I think they're kind of cute.
No, it's horrible. It's like some horrible alien dick pic.
Let's Google that. Horrible alien thing. That's what comes in.
But they were desiccated, the ones that landed on them, just like they were. Exactly like they were. Like a tube. Yeah. And if you drop them in water, whether they come back in, they're enough of that.
Tom, this is not bacon.
Right, how might small pants affect your sex life? Any thoughts?
I'm very much enjoying the dungaree version of Far Left. I don't know if I'm going to pocket. What's going to go in there? But imagine if a painter decorator turned up with a band, like, oh, you're not
I don't think you would be either. Prop here to see if this is true. So I'm talking about various pants. Okay. These are polyester underpants, and they have been used to, not these particular ones, obviously, but pants this size, used to examine the sex life.
You're not asking how it affects my sex life.
Yes, you might.
What those might?
Well, not
I'd imagine
yeah.
it's completely destroyed.
This is a pair of tiny trousers, a little bit like the ones that were used by an Egyptian neurologist called Ahmed Shafik, and he wanted to study the impact of various textile materials on the sex life of rats. Okay. Why might you think that this was a good idea?
Funding?
Well, in some ways, we often use them. Well, I don't know.
That's absolutely right. So they had different groups of male rats, and some of them had tiny pants made of wool, some had cotton, some had polyester, some had a polyester cotton mix, which I don't approve of.
Oh, no, that sounds very sweaty.
Yes. And then there was a control group, who were obviously commando, clearly the commando. Oh, yeah, out there. Yeah. And I don't know if I can say it on here, but they had little openings made for the ears, and for the penis, and for the tail.
You've said it. You just said it straight now.
I know. Did it sound alright?
That sounded fine. You just ran with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it with a pair of tweezers in your hand.
I know.
A picture of a rat wearing those.
No, unfortunately we don't. Samuel Whiskers is the best that we could do wearing a pair of pants. Anyway, the rats were selected based on their high potency, okay? I know. And so they had their sexual activity.
High potency.
Oh yes, that's me. So they had their sexual activity checked 4 times. So it was once before the study, then once 6 months of wearing the pants.
6 months
of wearing the pants?
And then once after 12 months of wearing the pants. 12 months? And then finally at 6 months after the pants had been removed. So these are the 4 times that they've checked.
Here, wearing the same pants. What were they, students?
So here's the bit of the graph that I don't care for. It's the insertion to mount ratio. So the control group and the wool group and the cotton group, it doesn't seem to make any bloody difference to them at all. Their sex lives seem to be exactly the same.
They don't have to take their pants off. They're ready to go.
No, because there's a hole that I tried to show you.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little...
I don't think I do it again.
No,
That's very unfair. If their partner's got the tweezers, they're
Yes,
all right.
exactly.
How do the pants with the hole in the front and the back for the tail relate to human trousers? Because I've only got 2 to 3 pairs of trousers with a
Yeah.
hole in the front.
Yeah, no. So what I'm saying is, the wool was fine, the cotton was fine, the commander, they were all fine. It's the polyester and polyester mix pants. So they showed an increase in attempted mounts, but a decrease in successful insertion.
Is it because they just slid right off?
Well, it may...
Was the other rat wearing polyester as well?
Does anybody remember nylon sheets? That was a very bad idea. You got into bed and slid out the other side.
If you really in the dark, you could straighten them and then spark up.
Yes, like a light train. So darling, this is some of the issues with these polyester pants, right? Is that it generated electrostatic charges in the scrotal area.
Everything about that is so sexy. Wow. When you say things like that, Sandy, I don't know if they'll be able to broadcast that.
Charges in the scrotal area.
I'm just committing it to memory.
I use that one.
I've never seen a pornographic film. Do they have voiceover? Because I could do the voiceover.
I think you just did.
I wish they did have voiceover. Do you think it's like a David Attenborough nature doctor?
I mean, here we have the plumber.
Oh, no, that's not the tool I thought he meant at all.
Surely there's audio description.
Pornography for the visually impaired.
It's possible that this electrostatic field, I'm trying to be serious about it, is responsible for reduced sexual success. That is the
Well,
possibility.
it would put you off, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why?
Sparks coming off it. I think I'd probably say,
Okay,
let's just have
another
you know.
time.
Let's,
Yeah. So anyway, don't wear them. I think that's fundamentally what we're saying.
Or do wear them.
Yeah.
Electric shock in your balls.
Anyway, moving on. What is powdered rhino horn used for in traditional Chinese medicine?
I'm going for it.
Yes.
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, that's obviously what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
But I'm always thinking that with everything.
Oh yeah.
That could be an aphrodisiac.
In official Chinese traditional medicine, rhino horn or zijiao has never been prescribed as a sexual stimulant, or it's a myth which the Western media seems happy to run with. It's not true at all. Most often it seems to be prescribed for fever. But there's a whole list of things that you might suggest.
Imagine the horn, if it wasn't powdered, I imagine the horn could be quite a sexual stimulant.
What, so you can just literally say, I've got the horn.
When that comes
Here it is.
In these socially distanced times, it might be better.
It's a rhino horn. What are you doing there?
Harry Potter.
What are you doing there?
I've got wrong. I haven't got the point yet. The pointy end's pointing out.
Right.
And I'm...
Tempting a woman.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a woman, could be a rhino. I don't think a rhino would be
To buy the disembodied horn of its friend.
There's a rhino over there. Well, actually, no.
Having a all these diseases that in traditional Chinese medicine they reckon you know it's a rhino horn. But which my favourite I think is the evil miasma horn streak. Chinese daily culture to attribute special importance to rhino horns with the Greeks. You could detect poisons if you drank British bubbles or changing colour. So there may be something in the poison detection thing, because rhino horn was a bit of keratin and it chemically blends with strong alkaline solutions, which really poisons you.
But it's nonsense, isn't it, the medicine?
Yeah, I mean, they did a study in 1990 and they used very large doses of rhino horn and various rats, very slightly low fever. But it was worth it, I think, to kill a rhino to get a rat to feel the tummy.
It's like a small answer.
Yeah, call me an animal rights man. The reason that they come to a point is that the outer keratin is suffered by the sun, and then it's worn away by the thresholds of rubber and solid core remains. And if their balls were hard like 3 it wouldn't be shaped.
If they're not daft, they could have put the coke.
I know some. Flat top. Yes. Most of them are from
Running it.
Well, there are some that have a different shape to it, because most of them tend to grow in that shape, and that's because the keratin in the front grows faster than the keratin in the back, but you just see with a forward curving horn. And this one just looks depressed.
This was...
Yeah, it's a normal horn.
Right, which part of a racehorse anatomy needs to be really big to go into
His nose. Long nose is going to get you there first.
Yeah.
It depends how long.
Yeah, but I hate my nose.
You just the whole length of the
What's the feature that's most contributes to success on the track?
Oh, is it? It could be testicles or something again.
Big testicles, that would be like bongos going down the track.
It'd be like that executive toy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, too. And the jockey gets it last.
Yes. Yes, or if they swing up. I mean, none of it's no, darling, not testicles.
It's not that.
Anybody else?
Lungs, sort of capacity.
It is sort of to do with lungs.
Brain. So it
It
can outfox the rest of the competitors.
Takes a shortcut.
is the size of my heart. Do you follow the horses at all? Do you ever bet on the
You
horses?
named that was
Yes.
It's quite accusatory. Do you follow horses?
Sorry,
Just leave them alone.
well, I love a bit of a gamble, but I know nothing about it. But it used to be that other horses from good stock, so when the parents and the siblings have won lots and lots of races. But in fact, they did some analysis. There's a man called Jeff Setter. He's a racehorse analyst. So he collected lots of data from young racehorses about how many races they had won, and the size of the left ventricle was the most telling physical trait. So the left ventricle is obviously the bit that pumps oxygen back out into the body, right? Right ventricle puts it back into the lungs, but pumps it out into the body. And the size was the most critical thing. So he examined them all using ultrasound with surgery, because that would be, that would be
This one was great.
he would have been really fast. And it led him to predict the greatness of a horse called American Pharaoh. It was an extraordinary horse. Went on to win the 2015 Triple Crown, which is a sort of grand slam of racehorsing success. So this is American Pharaoh. And there was also a famous racehorse called Far Lap, who was a sort of national celebrity in Australia during the Great Depression. And it was discovered he had a heart that was twice the size of an average horse. In fact, that heart is now displayed in the National Museum of Australia. We do hope they have other things as well. The most successful racehorses are the ones with the biggest hearts. When the ravens leave the Tower of London, where do they go?
They're not allowed to
They've got
leave.
something, the throne of the monarchy, or I think something horrible happened.
Well, it's a myth. So the notion is that they've consistently lived at the Tower since the reign of Charles II, and that he was warned that the crown would fall if the ravens ever left. In fact, the earliest record that we can find of ravens at the Tower only goes back as far as 1895, and probably it was to do with the sort of raven craze that followed Edgar Allan Poe's famous poem in the 1850s. We can't find any evidence of them being further back than that. So usually there are 6 ravens, right, in the Tower, and they get raw meat and dead mice. Special treat, biscuits soaked in blood. Anybody? There was one called George, who was a repeat offender, and in 1981 he disappeared but was recaptured at the local pub and made to return to duty. But his bad behaviour continued, and eventually he was retired. The Tower announced on Saturday, the 13th of September 1986, Raven George, enlisted 1975, was posted to the Welsh Mountain Zoo. Conduct unsatisfactory.
They posted it. Died in the envelope on the way there.